Welcome back to another Canton Bourbon Boys video. Barrel picks. Are they what they're cut out to be? I want to talk a little bit about barrel picks and specifically Old Forester. So stay tuned to get some information on Old Forester barrel picks and are they worth it? Hey guys, welcome back. Old Forester barrel picks. They're very hard to get. They're almost impossible to even get an allocation to get one of these picks. So we were lucky enough to go with somebody down to Old Forester Distillery and hand select our own barrel strength Old Forester single barrel selection. I don't want to talk any details about who we went with, what the pick was like from basically a naming standpoint. I don't want any names involved, people involved, groups involved. I just want to talk about the process a little bit. And then we're going to try this barrel here. This barrel is a barrel from the 2022 Kentucky Bourbon Festival. It is 132.9 proof, and it is... don't know the true age statement on it. I was asking about it down at the Old Forester Distillery. They wouldn't tell me the profile on this one, but you could tell this thing's dark, rich, 132 proof. You kind of know you're getting a hitter, especially with the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. The reason I want to talk about this a little bit is, do they differentiate based on the groups that are going down? And I've never had this opinion in the past. We've done Buffalo Trace picks, we've done New Riff picks, and usually I think, hey, we don't single out anybody. We're going to bring out some quality barrels that we have available. You're going to get to choose between them, and you're going to pick the best barrel available that's kind of down there. And the way I feel is if you turn one of those barrels down or you don't like the flavor profiles, what do they do at that point? And some people may have an answer to that they may bring out more barrels. I have a different opinion that you could ruin a relationship with that distillery to the point where you can't get any more barrels and you are done in their eyes. But we went down there and I brought this bottle with me. I wanted to basically prep my palate to barrel strength Old Forester, kind of get ready into what I would want to pick when I went down. So we get in there, a great experience. Beautiful distillery if you haven't been there. It's a great tour, great guides. You get into the barrel pick and they're comparing our barrel. Usually they bring something out to do a palate comparison. And ours, it was Old Forester 86. And I would figure they'd bring out the 1920, closer to the barrel strength proof. Something to get your palate ready for not only something being a little more spicier, but something being a little more like a richer product, which everyone loves, the Old Forester 1920. But Old Forester 86 caught me off guard right off the get-go. And then when the barrels were poured up, they were extremely light, which bothered me a little bit more. It's how old are these? So when you flip around, study the barrel a little bit, you kind of look and they're 4-year-old barrels. And it's almost the question gets brought up is, why are you bringing out 4-year-old barrels for a barrel pick of something that's so incredibly rare and something that you expect to be rich, full flavored, and full bodied? We tried all 3 barrels they brought out, and they had grassy notes to them, young notes. Some people said, one person said a wet mop. You brought out almost all of the young notes that you get out of a bourbon. And that's what you're selling as a single barrel select barrel strength, which was so disappointing, especially for a company like Old Forester. You go to Buffalo Trace, they're going to give you the standard age profile for the product you're picking. You know what you're getting, but you're getting totally off the wall flavor profiles being unique single barrels. Here, you were getting 4-year-old barrels that were basically very similar in the fact that they were all young. They all gave off grainy notes, grassy notes, just screamed youth. And I don't understand why you would do that as a big distillery and you're selling those as barrel strength. So my only explanation is, as a money game, if you could sell a 4-year-old barrel at barrel strength, you have a lot more yield in that barrel. You have a lot less loss for a company. And if somebody takes it on, they have a lot more bottles of stuff that doesn't meet the flavor profile of what you would expect. So I'm going to sit here and sip on this Old Forester while we continue to talk. But this one here, I mean, just is almost mind-blowing. Super spicy. Caramels, baking spices just kind of linger in your mouth forever. Just absolutely rich. The mouthfeel hits all sides of the palate. It doesn't like kill you on the way down. It's a rich, deep, dark cherries. The caramels and vanillas linger on the end. Extremely sweet, thick. It has got some bakery aspects to it, like the pie crust, the graham cracker. This thing has it all. It's old, it's rich, it's fruity, it's flavorful, it's spicy. It hits every aspect that you want a bourbon to hit. So when you go down with that expectation and you get a young bourbon, and I almost compared it to a Yellowstone Select, a 4-year-old Yellowstone. So you're still getting something kind of unique, but it's still young. So you're not getting what you want. But it just a little disappointing, But to conclude this, I'd always bash on OHLQ picks. And I'd always bash on it because a lot of times the rumors are when OHLQ goes down for a pick, a lot of times their flavor profiles or the people they bring down don't really know the whiskey, don't really know bourbon. And a lot of times they go for that neutral flavor profile that they think that a lot of people would like. And most of the bourbon people don't necessarily like that flavor profile they go for. So a lot of their picks are quite brutal. So I almost take it back a little bit, saying, are the distilleries not providing people, let's say, I don't want to say outside of Kentucky, but people that don't do a lot of picks, are they not providing them with premium barrels to actually pick from? And that's almost my conclusion. If you're a Joe Schmo and you get your second barrel pick from a company, they probably sit back and go, I'm going to bring out these 4 unique but not great barrels for them to have. And eventually they'll work their way up the system to the point where they can get something great, which I think is totally unfair and kind of crappy. But to conclude this, be careful of the barrel picks you pick. If you're picking barrel picks, go to a big name store. They will not only tell you that their picks are fantastic, they will tell you the picks that kind of suck. And they will be totally open. So Party Source, Westport Whiskey and Wine, places like that do a lot of barrel picks, they will let you know what's fantastic and what's not. But I truly think some of these distilleries single out people that don't do a lot of picks and they don't give them the premium barrels. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys better make a better selection on single barrel selects when you guys get the opportunity. But we'll see you next time.